What's going on, everybody? Thank you all for joining me today. If you haven't already, please make sure you hit the like button because that's the most important thing you can do for me on this channel. What it does, that helps make sure that those who are subscribed to the channel will indeed get the notifications, and it also helps to push this video through the YouTube algorithm as well. Secondly, if you're new to the channel, or maybe you've been ghost watching this channel for quite some time now, please do me a favor and yourself a favor by hitting the subscribe button, as well as the bell notification next to the subscribe button so you can be notified whenever I release a new video. And lastly, please make sure you share this video out on your social media platforms to your family and friends to inform them on this news and information. And yes, that does help to give me a slight boost in the YouTube algorithm as well. And with the introduction out of the way, let's get into today's news. And today we are headed back to the border. We have big news coming out of the border, because as we speak, there are roughly around 2,000 of Harris's migrants that are headed to the border, getting ready to bum rush the border in fear of a potential Donald Trump presidency. This is to be expected and was to be expected. As I've discussed multiple times on this channel before, those across the border are more aware of what's going on in America concerning our politics than a lot of our citizens are. And I don't say that as any disrespect to the viewer that's listening, but it's just important for me to highlight that these people know what's going on, and they know that it's a tight race. They know that in all actuality, Donald Trump is most likely going to win. And with a Trump victory, the border will be closed. So now what we have is roughly around 2,000 migrants getting ready to bum rush the border with about as little as 14 days to go till the election. And on top of that, it appears through a report that has been put out that the cartel has now green light shooting and taking the lives of Border Patrol agents. So we're going to get into all that right now and break it all down as we go through this Fox News report. Let's jump into this video now.
All right now, over 2,000 migrants are headed for the U.S.-Mexico border over fears they'll be denied entry under a second Trump presidency. And with those migrants making their way here, a new internal memo reportedly reveals Mexican cartels are giving members permission to, quote, shoot at U.S. Border Patrol agents. Irene Armendariz-Jackson is a small business owner in El Paso whose husband is a retired border agent. And Irene joins us now. Irene, good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us. So it sounds like these migrants feel like their best chance of entering this country is under Kamala Harris, which is not what she's saying on the campaign trail. How do you feel about that?
Well, I mean, I think they're wasting their time because I do believe that America has opened their eyes, especially the Latino community, the Hispanic community. We're tired of seeing these people come and abuse unfortunately, they're taking advantage of the situation, right, with the Biden-Harris administration. We're tired of spending money on them. Over $571 billion have been spent on these people. My parents immigrated to the United States legally. The Democrats keep talking about how our system is broken. Then answer me this question. How is it that millions of people have followed the process and now are legally here, including not only my parents, but my brother-in-law, who actually joined the military and received his citizenship when he was in Iran. Mm-hmm. So these people coming, I think they're just wasting their time because when Trump wins, they're going to be deported.
Now, one thing that was interesting that she stated that I really want to harp on is when she said that Americans have opened their eyes, and especially the Latino community. One of the biggest misconceptions is that Hispanics overall support the migrant crisis and they're happy about it just off the basis that it's largely more Hispanics coming into the country and somehow that's going to benefit them, right? When the reality is that that's actually far from the case. You might have had a better opportunity arguing that prior to the migrant crisis. But with the migrant crisis currently going on, for as much as I speak on how much the migrant crisis and illegal immigration overall negatively impacts Black Americans the most, obviously it impacts everybody negatively. But when you're breaking it down as far as demographics are concerned, economically, it impacts Black Americans, particularly Black men, negatively the most. Right underneath them are Hispanic men as well. Right underneath them are Hispanics overall. And you have to remember when you're talking about Hispanics that are 2-3 generations into this country, right? And then you take into account the fact that you have these businesses that are hiring illegal immigrants, they're not hiring these illegal immigrants off the basis of them just simply being Hispanic. They're hiring them off the basis of them being illegal. Therefore, they can pay them wages that are well beneath the minimum wage, and they can also have them working in unsafe environments to which they won't complain, because they're just trying to get into where they fit in, get whatever little money they can get, and get whatever little advantage they can get now that they're in the country. And these are things that citizens, particularly concerning the Hispanic community, Hispanic men and women will not accept, those that are actually citizens of the country, and they've been in here for about 2, 3, even 4 generations. They're not going to work those jobs either. Just like I wouldn't work those jobs, and any other American citizen wouldn't work those jobs. So people tend to forget that point. They tend to forget the point that when you're talking about those Hispanics that are citizens of the country and that are 2, 3 generations in, they're getting blocked out from opportunities as well, simply based off the fact that they are citizens. So with that being said and understood, yes, many of them are very much so, a good deal are very much so against the migrant crisis and everything that's going on and want the border closed. But now I want to fast forward now. Let's fast forward to the cartel, because the cartel has put out a green light to take the lives of Border Patrol agents. So I want to jump into that next. So we're going to do that now.
So there's this other issue, major issue here that I want to talk to you about. We're learning that the El Paso sector sent out a memo to its border agents, alerting them to the fact that cartel members have been given the green light to shoot and kill Border Patrol agents. U.S. law enforcement used to be considered off limits, but that has changed. This isn't a report or speculation. This memo is coming from inside Border Patrol itself. So what do you think about that?
What's happening right now and why this isn't shocking to me is because from the side of the cartel, in my opinion, how I'm looking at this, and it makes the most sense to me, from the side of the cartel, they're looking at a potential Trump presidency as the obvious end of the migrant crisis. And what a lot of people don't know and understand, if you haven't followed this thing closely, is that these cartels that are funneling the illegal immigrants to the border to help them across, they are making billions upon billions of dollars a year. The Biden and Harris administration has been indirectly handing billions of dollars to the cartel. We're talking about billions hand over fist by way of the migrant crisis. And the greed of it all has now settled in with the cartels. They don't want it to stop. They don't want it to stop. And the same way that in Mexico, cartel wars erupt because one cartel group is infringing upon another cartel's group territory and messing up their ability to make money, a Trump administration will completely destroy their ability to make the billions of dollars that they were easily making under Harris and Biden. So now they reverted to their natural way of saying, hey, we're ready to go to war to maintain this money that we're making here. The same way that they would go to war against other cartel members that are infringing upon their ability to make money. They have now reverted to that same mindset concerning Border Patrol agents. If you all indeed attempt to stop us from making the billions that we're making under Harris and Biden, we will indeed go to war with you. That's what's happening. The greed has settled in. They don't want to lose that money. They're not going to just go away lightly because Trump is in office if he wins. But I think we all know as well, if the cartel did take that position aggressively under a Trump administration, the wailing and gnashing of teeth coming from across the border, as well as coming from those that are in the country, will be something that we haven't seen before. And I'll just leave it at that. And in case you're kind of missing the point, Trump is going to drop the hammer in an ugly way. In an ugly way. He'll shut it down quickly. And it's not going to look good. But it'll be what it is, if that is the case. And with all that being said, That does it for today's news. So I want to thank you all for joining me today. Please hit the like button on the way out. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel. Also share this video on your social media platforms, and don't forget to follow me on Telegram and Rumble. It is extremely important that you do that. Please follow me on Telegram and Rumble at TD Media Group. Both my Telegram and Rumble link will be in the description box below and pinned in the comment section as well. Thank you all for your time, and until the next video, peace and have a great afternoon.